So I decided that after writing Hathor, I had to update information on the movie Nibiru because I was re-examining the tablets, and though the initiation temples are not really described in the movie much, it's just a story of the people and their journey to Earth when the planet was dying. Some of the tablets are very, very telling of initiations that they held, including spaceship building, because there are beautiful artifacts of the winged gods that had the egg-shaped globe-like early spaceships that flew people who are 100 to 150 feet tall. They were bigger than Hathor's time, and they did not hide them, in fact. Back then, they proudly displayed them because there was no atomic war yet. And also there are new tablets that have been released that show, in fact, the people of Anu with an atomic bomb and EFA booming towers. And I have posted those. What I'll do is on the Nibiru page of the Starlight State blog, I will add some of those for you to see. And I've also added them for Hollywood post-production page for Nibiru. I've updated it with the new information like I have for the Hathor movie, the pre-production page. It has very important tablets and material that I decoded for the movie. For Nibiru, we have one also. And it is a continuing story of the same families reincarnated after the atomic war about 40,000 years later in the time of Hathor and Horus the Elder. So it's going to be very interesting. And people may want to purchase both and produce them. I'm not sure, because it's a continuation of the people. Only the styling is much different. It is a different kind of a look that has remnants of the Nibiru culture brought to Earth, where Egypt was... it was more golden. It was more intricate. They were smaller, so we had more intricate design in Egypt, which was fabulous handcrafted design out of this world. And the beings in Nibiru and on Earth, the early family of Anu, they were larger, so things were designed bigger and a bit simpler, so slightly different style. Anyway, there's also tablets that depict... There is a tablet that depicts a great being inside the actual spacecraft that I've added to the pre-production page, and I'll add to the Nibiru page on the main Starlight State blog, as well as proof of the wiring they had of electricity, just like they brought back to Egypt, likely with lighting, because they have a tree that is showing this. And also the beginnings of the symbol, the Ankh, was basically something that we have on coats today, which is like a British fasting. You have a loop, you have a prong with a loop on it, and then another prong that fits through it on these rudimentary coat clasps. So that they use to depict superstring theory focus in action, and a new concept was represented by a new little tree. And there's a tablet that shows this as well that I have found, that I posted in pre-production. So very, very glorious. Now there's some speculation by me that they may have in fact mined the moon with their spaceship early on, because they seem to have things that I remember in the culture that resembled platinum. And it had more of a silvery look, even though they had gold as well. They had this element of the silvery look that I remember from Nibiru and early buildings that they created on Earth, that was missing from the Egyptian architecture. It was mostly all gold, yellow gold. And so the reason I thought about this is because of the way that they have the star and then the rounded moon depicted. So they know that it was a star that burnt out, like in my YouTube videos where moons once stars had burnt out, and evidence to point to it that I have collected. And in fact, they have this technology. Just like in Hathor's time, they said that the final flare of the sun before it goes out was something to say it is this kind of an electrical surge you need for electricity to run, to turn things on. Now they had this, you can tell, because they had those three pictures of the star side by side together, including its dead state inert, the moon. So in fact, they had moons that I mentioned in the movie Nibiru, that likely back then were stars that gave it extra light. Not very much, but some extra to this huge planet. And in fact, there are some planets in our solar system that look burnt out as if they may have been small stars. And that's science will have to debate and look at the evidence again. So the other thing is that with the proof written on their tablets of this information, you can see that there is a definite carrying forward from the earlier ancient peoples of Earth to remembering all of this after reincarnation, which they did in Hathor's time. And there's also a goddess that wore like a horned headdress in Epic of Gilgamesh as well, later in the history of Inanna, likely, after Tamuzi, her soulmate, perished as a young man. So there is definitely encoded information there to look at, both for science and for for the scholars, and also for movie producers to delve into, who purchased the movie Screenplay I wrote, Nibiru, just like the ones will purchase Hathor. And one will be clearly a historical representation, and then the other we will have. So great fun awaits, and great information. And it looks also like they may have had electronic frequency towers, EFA, that were booming during their war that they had, atomic war, which I have a tablet that has proof of it, of them with an atomic bomb that I posted today, actually, on the main page. Google, I have it today, which is July the 20th. So by the time you see this video after today, it may be gone, but look for it in the Nibiru pages of the Starlight State blog. All right. I've had happy sleuthing and research and remote view from my films. It's still going through my mind. It's so amazing.